Welcome to World Coins History. Today we are talking about a $1 coin so big and heavy that most Americans ignored it, and now collectors are hunting certain versions for serious money. Top 1. Today, we are talking about a $1 coin that looks ordinary, yet some versions quietly sell for more than a nice weekend getaway, and most people have no idea they've ever even held one. This coin was made to celebrate America's 200th birthday, but here's the twist. You will never find a US coin dated 1975. Not one. Instead, this dollar carries two dates at once, 1776 to 1976, and that alone already makes it different from almost everything else in your pocket. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which version is common, which one collectors hunt, and which tiny details can turn a $1 coin into something worth real money. Bring the camera in close and look at the front. You see Dwight D. Eisenhower staring back, calm and serious. This is the Eisenhower Dollar, often called the Ike Dollar. Big, heavy, and impossible to ignore. Now flip it over slowly. Instead of the usual eagle, you get the Liberty Bell floating in front of the moon. That design alone tells a story. America's past and future in one image. Independence on one side, space exploration on the other. That wasn't an accident. Now here's where most people get tripped up. Not all of these coins are the same. Some were made for everyday use, and those are usually copper and nickel, just like modern quarters. Others were struck in 40% silver, made especially for collectors. Same year. Same design. Very different value. If you see an S mint mark under Eisenhower's neck, that's your first clue you might be holding silver. Zoom in even closer on the lettering on the back. There are two main types. One has thick, bold letters. The other has thinner, sharper lettering. Collectors call them Type 1 and Type 2. The Type 2 coins were made in smaller numbers and are harder to find in top condition. That tiny difference has driven collectors crazy for decades, and then there are the mistakes. Some coins show double details on the lettering or the Liberty Bell. Others have off-center strikes or unusual surface textures. These aren't common, and when they're verified, they can be the difference between a curiosity and a serious collectible. So what's it actually worth? A worn, circulated Eisenhower bicentennial dollar usually sells for around $1 to $2. Clean, uncirculated examples can bring $3 to $10. The silver versions often sell in the range of $8 to $15 depending on silver prices. High-grade coins, especially rare varieties or error examples, have sold at auction for several $100s when collectors really start competing. The crazy part is how many of these still sit in drawers, boxes, and old collections, completely overlooked. So now I want to know. Do you own one of these? Have you ever checked it closely, or did you assume it was just another dollar? And if you could add any US coin to your collection, which one would it be? This single coin carries history, design, and value all in one oversized dollar. Top 2, we are talking about a $1 coin that most Americans have seen, ignored, or even spent, without realizing. Some versions quietly sell for way more than face value, and a few are chased hard by collectors. Here's the wild part. This coin came out after the bicentennial hype was over, after the fireworks faded, and when most people stopped paying attention. That's exactly why the 1977 Eisenhower Dollar hides some of its best surprises. Stay with me, because near the end I'll tell you which small details can turn this heavy dollar into a serious collectible. Get a tight close-up on the coin in your hand. This thing is big. Heavier than modern dollar coins. On the front, you see Dwight D. Eisenhower, bold and unmistakable. No frills. No redesign. Just power. Flip it over slowly. The eagle is landing on the moon, holding an olive branch. This design comes straight from the Apollo 11 mission patch. America didn't just put a man on the moon. It put it on money. Now here's where people mess up. The 1977 Eisenhower Dollar was never made in silver for circulation. Every standard version is copper and nickel. So if someone tells you all Ike dollars are silver, they're wrong. But that doesn't mean this coin is boring. Bring the camera closer to the mint mark. Look for a D or an S. Denver coins were made for circulation. San Francisco coins were made for collectors. Many of those were struck better, cleaner, sharper. Condition matters a lot here. One tiny scratch can kill the value, and now the cliffhanger. Errors. Some 1977 Ike dollars show doubled lettering. Some have off-center strikes. A few have weak strikes where Eisenhower's details look oddly flat. These mistakes are where the money lives. A worn 1977 Eisenhower dollar usually sells for about $1 to $2. Clean uncirculated examples often sell in the $5 to $15 range. High-grade collector coins, especially from San Francisco, can sell for several $100s at auction when certified and preserved perfectly. So be honest. Do you own one of these big dollars? Have you ever checked it under good light? And which US coin would you love to find hiding in your collection? The 1977 Eisenhower dollar isn't flashy, but it carries space history, Cold War confidence, and collector potential in one solid piece of metal. Top 3, we are talking about a $1 coin that looks simple, heavy, and familiar, but one tiny detail on the back has turned ordinary pocket change into a collector obsession that has sold for thousands. Here's what makes this crazy. Millions of Americans have handled the 1972 Eisenhower dollar. Very few have ever flipped it over and looked closely at the earth. And that mistake has cost people real money. Stick around, because near the end I'll tell you exactly what to look for and why one version of this coin is in a completely different league. Bring the camera in close. This is the Eisenhower dollar, often called the Ike dollar. It's big. It's bold. It feels like real money. On the front, you've got Dwight D. Eisenhower, war hero, president, and the face of American power in the Cold War era. Flip it over slowly. You see an eagle landing on the moon, olive branch in its claws. That image comes straight from the Apollo 11 mission. America stamped its moon landing onto a coin. Now here's where things get interesting. In 1972, the U.S. Mint used 3 different designs for the Earth on the reverse. Most people don't know that. Type 1 shows a soft, blurry Earth. Type 2 has sharper islands. But Type 3, that's the one. It shows the Earth with crisp, clear outlines of Florida and the Caribbean. Fewer were made. Way fewer. Pause the video here and zoom in on the Earth. This is the moment most collectors remember forever. Add to that the mint marks. No mint mark means Philadelphia. A D means Denver. An S means San Francisco. Some San Francisco coins were struck in 40% silver for collectors, not circulation. Condition matters a lot. One small nick can mean pocket change. Perfect surfaces can mean serious money, and then there are errors. Doubled lettering. Off-center strikes. Weak strikes where Eisenhower's face looks strangely flat. These aren't common, and verified examples get attention fast. So what's it worth? A worn 1972 Eisenhower dollar usually sells for about $1 to $3. Uncirculated examples often sell from $10 to $30. Silver collector versions can sell higher depending on condition. But high-grade Type 3 Earth coins have sold at auction for hundreds, and in rare certified cases, well over $1,000. That's all from a tiny change in how the Earth was engraved. So now I want to know. Do you own a 1972 Ike dollar? Have you ever checked the Earth on the back? And which US coin would you love to discover hiding in your collection? Top 4. We are talking about a $1 coin that shocked the country the moment it was released, a coin so big and heavy that people complained it wouldn't even fit in their pockets, yet today some versions are worth more than a stack of modern dollar bills. Here's the hook most people miss. This coin marked the return of the US dollar in metal form after silver disappeared from everyday money. It was new. It was bold. And the very first year it came out, the mint accidentally created varieties and errors that collectors still hunt aggressively. Stay with me, because one small letter on this coin can completely change its value. Bring the camera in close and let it fill the frame. This is the 1971 Eisenhower Dollar, the first year of the Ike series. On the front, Dwight D. Eisenhower stares forward, calm and commanding. Supreme Allied Commander. President. A symbol of American strength during tense times. This wasn't just a portrait. It was a statement. Now flip it over slowly. The eagle is landing on the moon, olive branch in its claws. This design came straight from the Apollo 11 mission insignia. America didn't just explore space. It turned that moment into money. Roll some B-roll of the moon landing here, then cut back to a tight close-up of the coin. Here's where the 1971 Ike gets interesting. This year has multiple mint marks. No mint mark means Philadelphia. D means Denver. S means San Francisco. And San Francisco is where things split. Some S coins were made in 40% silver for collectors. Others were copper and nickel. Same year. Same look. Totally different value. Now pause here, because this part matters. Look closely at the lettering and the strike. Early 1971 coins often have weak strikes. Eisenhower's hair can look flat. The eagle's feathers can look soft. But when you find a sharp, clean strike, especially from San Francisco, collectors notice. Then come the errors. Doubled letters on the date. Off-center strikes. Die cracks running through the design. These aren't common, and when authenticated, they can push prices far beyond what most people expect from a dollar coin. So what's the real value? A circulated 1971 Eisenhower dollar usually sells for $1 to $3. Uncirculated examples often sell for $10 to $30. Silver San Francisco versions regularly sell higher, depending on condition. High-grade, certified examples and rare error coins have sold at auction for several $100s, and in exceptional cases, more. All that value from a coin many people once refused to carry because it was too heavy. Now I want to hear from you. Do you own a 1971 Ike dollar? Have you ever checked the mint mark or tested whether it's silver? And which US coin would you love to find hiding in your collection? Top 5. We are talking about a $1 coin that most people think is boring, yet one version of it was never meant to exist, another was never sold to the public the normal way, and a few have quietly sold for more than most people expect from an Ike dollar. Here's the tease. The 1974 Eisenhower dollar sits in a strange moment in American history. Inflation was high, paper dollars were everywhere, and the public didn't want big coins anymore. That neglect created scarcity in all the right places. Stick with me, because near the end I'll tell you which 1974 Ike collectors look for first and why. Get a slow, steady close-up of the coin in hand. This is the Eisenhower dollar in its later years. Big. Solid. Heavy. On the front, Dwight D. Eisenhower looks calm but powerful. A reminder of leadership during war and peace. Flip it over and let the camera linger. The eagle is landing on the moon, olive branch in its claws. Space race pride turned into pocket change. Roll in some quick moon-themed B-roll, then snap back to the coin. Now here's where the 1974 Ike gets interesting. There were no silver Eisenhower dollars released for collectors this year. None sold the normal way. Every $1,974 you find in circulation is copper and nickel. That already makes collectors pay attention, because the silver era was over. But here's the twist most people don't know. A small number of 1974 Eisenhower dollars were struck in 40% silver anyway, and never officially released. These were experimental strikes. A few escaped. When one shows up, it stops the room cold. Now check the mint mark. No mint mark means Philadelphia. D means Denver. S means San Francisco proof coins. San Francisco strikes were made carefully for collectors, with mirror-like surfaces and sharper details. Condition matters more than year here. One scratch can erase value, and then there are the errors. Doubled lettering. Die cracks through Eisenhower's face. Off-center strikes that make the date slide toward the rim. These are the coins that keep collectors searching rolls and old sets. So what's the real money? A worn 1974 Eisenhower dollar usually sells for about $1 to $2. Uncirculated examples often sell for $10 to $20. Proof coins from San Francisco can sell higher depending on condition. Verified error coins can sell for several $100s. And those rare silver experimental pieces, when authenticated, have sold at auction for thousands, all from a year most people ignored. So let me ask you. Do you own a 1974 Ike dollar? Have you ever checked the mint mark or looked at it under good light? And which US coin would you love to stumble across unexpectedly? Top 6, and last rare coin, we are talking about a $1 coin that ended an entire era of American money, and most people have no idea they're holding the final chapter when they see it. Here's the crazy part. This coin was struck the same year America quietly decided big dollar coins were done. No announcement. No farewell speech. Just one last run, and then it was over. That alone makes the 1978 Eisenhower dollar special. But there's more hiding in this coin, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why collectors still chase certain versions. Hold the coin up and let the camera linger. This is the 1978 Eisenhower dollar, the final year of the Ike series. It's large, heavy, and unapologetic. On the front, Dwight D. Eisenhower looks forward with quiet authority. 5-star general. President. A face chosen to represent strength during a tense period in American history. Now flip it over slowly. The eagle descends onto the moon, olive branch in its claws. This design is pulled straight from the Apollo 11 mission insignia. America's greatest technological achievement turned into everyday money. Roll in a quick shot of the moon landing, then cut back to the coin filling the screen. Here's where things get interesting. By 1978, the public didn't want these coins. They were bulky. Paper dollars were easier. That lack of love meant many coins were mishandled, scratched, or dumped into storage. Finding clean examples today is harder than people think. Check the mint mark. No mint mark means Philadelphia. D means Denver. S means San Francisco proofs. The San Francisco proofs are the standout here. Mirror-like surfaces. Frosted details. These were made for collectors, not pockets. Now pause right here. Errors. This is where eyes widen. Some 1978 Ike dollars show doubled lettering on the date or motto. Others have die cracks slicing through the design. Off-center strikes exist, and when verified, they get attention fast. These are the coins people dream of finding in old collections. So what's the real value? A circulated 1978 Eisenhower dollar usually sells for about $1 to $2. Uncirculated examples often sell in the $10 to $20 range. Proof coins from San Francisco can sell higher depending on condition. Certified high-grade examples and notable errors have sold at auction for several $100s, all that from a coin most people thought was obsolete the moment it was made. So let me ask you. Do you own the last Eisenhower dollar? Have you ever checked it closely? And which US coin would you love to add to your collection if you had the chance? The 1978 Eisenhower dollar isn't just another Ike. It's the end of an era, the final heavyweight before America moved on. If this made you see it differently, hit like, drop a comment, subscribe, and check out the next coin story waiting for you.